When Veron Primus finished his prison sentence in New York, he was deported to his home country, the island of St. Vincent in the Caribbean. He took something with him, something he can't shake. The label, person of interest in the death of Brooklyn teen Chanel Petro Nixon.
Did you know that he got into trouble in America?
No.
Moana Hadaway probably wishes she knew about Primus's past when they started dating. It might have saved her from the terror that changed her life forever. Moana says Primus held her captive for 3.5 months in a makeshift dungeon, locked, she says, in a tiny room in the basement of a house at the foot of a volcano.
I lost track of days.
Were you able to sleep at night when it was dark?
Sometimes.
Not always?
Not always.
And as you're about to see in this Crime Watch Daily exclusive, Moana's amazing story of survival is exactly what might give New York City cops what they need to solve the murder of Chanel.
I was told he made statements about killing another girl in the United States.
Yeah.
He said that?
Crime Watch Daily and Pix 11's Mary Murphy teaming up on this international investigation, searching for answers on the beaches, in the towns, and in the jungles of St. Vincent, some 2,000 miles and a world away from New York City. Moana and Primus went to grade school together. When he returned last year, Moana says they picked up where they left off, and he told her about Chanel.
I could remember him giving me the article to read about her missing.
And it was Chanel?
Yeah.
Moana claims he soon became violent, so she broke it off.
Why did you break up with Veron Primus?
He used to threaten me a lot. Like when we got into like arguments and things, he would threaten me with knives. He made attempts at me 4 times.
He used knives 4 different times?
Yeah.
And then finally you filed a police report.
Moana says after she filed the police report, Primus left her alone until New Year's Day.
He was messaging me and telling me he had some things for me and to come and collect them. So that is how I ended up there. When it was time for me to leave, I couldn't leave.
Moana says he locked her in this room. She says Primus made her strip naked from the waist up and threatened to kill her if she tried to escape.
How big was the room?
Probably a little bit bigger than your bed.
Did you ever scream for help during the 3.5 months?
No. He would say he would get to me faster than they would get into the house.
He'd have you killed or what? Like,
Yeah.
Moana tried to escape through the window, but she says Primus caught her. This all happened right under the nose of his great aunt, who is too afraid to show her face.
Did you know that there was a woman in that room?
No, I did not know.
You didn't know there was a woman locked in the room,
No.
the enclosure?
No.
This is the window leading into the wooden enclosure where Moana was held for 3.5 months. And when she tried to escape the first time and perhaps seek help from this house next door, Primus allegedly found her in the act and punished her.
The punishment, Moana claims, a grave. Yes, a grave right here outside her window. She says Primus callously showed her the video of him digging it.
When Veron Primus showed you the video of the hole, what did you understand that to mean for you?
That he was ready to kill me
Rather than let you go?
rather than let me go.
The days turned into weeks, and Moana says no one suspected anything wrong because Primus sent fake texts from her own phone telling family and friends, "I'm in Antigua, a nearby island."
People were saying you went to Antigua
Yeah.
because he was writing that?
Yeah. And sometimes he would let me send voice notes to them so that they would know that, yeah, I'm the one that's writing.
So people thought you were traveling.
Yeah.
Her biggest fear, she says, that she'd never again see her mother, who is dying of cancer, or her 4-year-old boy.
Were you able to leave any messages for him?
Like once or twice, yeah.
Did you ask him, please let me go? Did you say, my mother is sick, my son is looking for his mom?
Yeah.
He wouldn't listen?
Then one day, Moana sees a way out of her prison.
He was cooking So he wouldn't leave me in the room because he would think that I would escape to the window. So he brought me into the kitchen and told me to sit on, he had a chair in the kitchen, so I was sitting on the chair. And he went outside to wash out a pot. And that is when I took the opportunity to put the note into the box.
A note saying, "I'm here all the time. Get help." She put it in a box containing insulin. Primus's great aunt is diabetic, and Moana knew her caretaker stored the insulin in the refrigerator.
We are inside the house where Moana was held. In fact, this is the wooden enclosure with the locked door. And if you follow me into the kitchen, you will see the refrigerator where the insulin was held. And this is where Moana managed to put a note inside the box that held the medicine. And then her savior found it and got help. When she opened the refrigerator, did you hear her?
Yeah, I would not want to hear when she opened the refrigerator.
Was your heart beating?
Yeah.
The caretaker calls police, but then Moana is stunned. She says Primus forced her to give a fake name to the cops.
When he came in to get me, he told me that to tell them my name was Kimberly or he would have killed me.
So is that the name you gave, Kimberly?
Yeah.
And then what did the police say?
They asked me if I was sure, and he was right there, so I just said yes.
Moana says she went back into her dungeon, afraid she'd be buried in the grave after the police left. But just then, the caretaker bravely tells cops she's not Kimberly, it's Moana, and she's being held captive.
Did you see the woman who'd been held captive come out of the house?
Yes,
What was that moment like for you?
it was shocking, very shocking.
This is the caretaker. Moana calls her the Insulin Angel. We're hiding her face for her protection.
How did she look to you?
She looked like she haven't seen sunlight for months.
Finally, Moana is free. Her long nightmare is over.
Did they give you anything to wear when you left the house?
The dress that I wore was the dress that I left in.
Did you wear that the whole time?
I didn't have clothes. He told me that I wasn't allowed to have clothes on. I didn't know what to think.
You were in shock? And when you saw your mom for the first time?
Cops arrested Primus on a charge of kidnapping, but while searching his place, cops find something else.
The police found other pieces of evidence that can link him to another crime.
Next, how Moana's rescue may solve the murder of a St. Vincent real estate agent. What cops say ties Veron Primus to another unsolved murder.
What was the most important piece of evidence you found there?
The most important piece of evidence that was found is a key.
What Moana says Primus told her about Chanel's death in New York. And the emotional reunion with the Insulin Angel.